Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing blue-white soldiers, mainly mono-white soldiers, but we are adding blue to play a kind of really strong closer in Harbin. This card is mainly only in here because of its final ability. Whenever you attack with 5 or more soldiers, creatures you control get a 1/1 and gain flying until end of turn. The flying is the main thing we're looking at along with that 1/1 because it gives us evasion over our opponent, where oftentimes your opponent's going to maybe have 1 flyer, maybe 2. But if you're counting all their ground creatures, they'll probably have 4 or 5. The way that these boards kind of muddy up quickly because your opponent knows with how many lords that we play in our deck, being a Coppercoat Vanguard and a veteran here, that we can very quickly close the game in a 1-turn strike. So they have to be careful of that. So the board typically gets built pretty high on both sides until we can fly in over top of them and then not have to worry about it. Outside of that, we are playing a lot of 1-drops in Frontliner, which is free if we have a Bally Rush in play. This guy, our reducer, which is free if we have that in play. Then we have Recruitment Officer as just a strong 2/1 that can find creatures later if we're flooding a bit. Then we have a Warden of Inner Sky just kind of in here in case we do get to that weird muddy board. And I just wanted to try other things than what we tried last time. Then we have Cathar Commando to sacrifice into temporary lockdowns or other enchantments that matter, like another opponent's Shelter by Ghost, where we don't have to necessarily target their creature to remove it. But we have reinforcements to flash in on their end step, 3 Shelter by Ghost, because if you're playing a creature deck, this is the best removal you can be playing because this card alone oftentimes beats mono red. But we have Harbin as we talked about, and then we have this reducer that makes soldier spells cost 1 less, mainly soldier spells cost 1 less. Then we have Veteran and then Coppercoat as our lords and a Knight Errant to round out the deck. Our mana is pretty fine. Like, it's okay. These typically will always enter untapped. Cavern obviously is great with how many creatures we play. We just name Soldier and call it a day. Sometimes you can play Human if you want to do the Knight uncounterably if you have 2, but it should always be on Soldier first. Seagram Coast typically always going to come in untapped. We have 2 versions because it's just a white land that can tap for blue if we have a plains in play as well. It's just, in my mind, better than 6 plains in a way because obviously the Harbin. And then we have 2 of these in case we do flood a bit because this also counts as the soldier or human and it gets every buff either way. You kind of look at it. But with that said, we're going to dive into the games, see how they go, and see if this mono white / blue white kind of soldier deck is a bit better than the Jeskai variation we tried just a couple of days ago. All right, very cool. We get to go first. We can keep this. We'll start off with Seagram Coast to show, maybe not show that we're fully soldier. We always have a way to get this in untapped. But the thing we're going to get to do that's very nice is we're going to get to play this, show this, play this, and play this. No Shelter by Ghost, unfortunately. Play this, and play this for free. And I will attack. A Shelter by Ghost from our opponent is very good. So I'd much rather just maybe take a trade instead of having to worry about Shelter by Ghost and things like that. We'll just see what ends up happening. Or it's Esper Pixie. I don't know what's happening. More. They are Esper, clearly, but... Alright. If... Right... Oh! Sick play here. Alright. So I can... can't really do that. Do I want a Knight here? Or do I want a Shelter by Ghost? Or do I hold Shelter by Ghost? I guess I could just hold it. I can play this. I should actually wait, right? I should just go ahead and do this. See if we don't find anything for a mana here. So we get a Lord and a Cathar Commando. This is free. Although I think the Commando would be good, right? Because I could blow up a Shelter by Ghost if they play it. So I guess it's Veteran Commando here. It has flash, so I might as well just wait, right? Then we'll play this. Give our board a buff here. And then we're looking to strike for a devastating attack next turn. Storm Chaser, sure. They don't have the mana, it doesn't really matter, right? And they don't know about our Shelter by Ghost. Nowhere to Run is a card that could happen. They Shelter by Ghost, sure. Taking my Veteran, I assume. Sure. Gain 6 here. I do think I just Shelter and I just steal that, right? I'm going to put it on my knight here. Because it's just the most life, and then nowhere to run itself can't beat me. Mine now. You lose those. And I don't think I'm missing an attack here. I know knight's good, but I think this is too big of an attack to miss out on. I mean, we just put them from 10. They were at like, what, 24, 26? I wasn't really looking, to be honest. Momentum breakers, sure. We get rid of the creature that has haste. This one. So we can always bring it back. Ready to go. Soldiers putting on pressure against the Esper deck. Sure. Not a whole lot to do there. And they are conceding, essentially. So we'll do this. Play this. And that will do it. Good game, opponent. Respect it. They let me get there. Good game. Good game either way. I respect it a ton. So, like I said, we'll move on. All right. Well, it seems like a keeper to me. Suppose, right? Oh boy. We're out here. We're ready to game. Please show the soldiers that we're going to play. Honestly, this rotates at the end of the year. I thought it already rotated. How dominant that card was for a very long time. Maybe why we're seeing its less dominance here. It is a human. We give it only a 1-0 though. Guess we try to make this one survive because then we get to play both our things. We'll pass here. Honestly, playing two 1s into a 1-1 is quite a frustrating thing for sure. Obviously, our recruitment officer is a free sacrifice here. Then we just go creature into creature most likely. Okay, not offering that trade. Totally makes sense here. Play this. We'll name soldier because everything in our deck is a soldier. Play Vanguard here, and then we'll just go ahead and ask for the turn. I'm going to be flashing this in. Maybe could have played this and then played this, I suppose. Because then they both would have got a buff, and we can just play our Lord kind of reactionary. Sure. Kind of holding here. Could have flashed it in, but they were held up mana, so I just was going to wait for my cavern, but kind of elected not to. I clicked the right buttons. Weird game. Entity tracker, sure. Just other soldiers when 5 or more soldiers creatures. They're both. These both fit the bill. What do you make? Just make just a soldier? Okay. Technically, we have a lot of value coming. It's just whether or not we get to do it. Here, sure. Have a token to sacrifice here. Momentum, please trigger. Okay. Here. Sure. What's to play now, Chief? The main thing that we got going for us is the fact that they can't actually deal with like a super overloaded board most of the time. Like, they can a little bit, but for the most part, there's just never typically a ton they can do about it. And now we just wait for the reinforcements. We slam it and then we go on. They're kind of bottlenecked on the black mana for now anyway. They are drawing extra cards. There's Storm Chase Talon, going to give them an extra creature, but that one doesn't matter that much. Creature specifically not mattering that much. We have what? They block our biggest, which will be Harbin, I think. We'll just get a 1/1 again flying into on a turn. So, sure. They'll have 2 blockers in the air. We'll be able to hit for a ton. They'll lose both creatures. Then we have it Harbin to play after this, right? On the 1 mana, 2 mana. They play Momentum Breaker again, probably. Sure. Solve Walnuts. The reinforcements. Allow this to resolve. This. Sure. Just a lord off the top would be best, but we failed to find. Combat. Everything is flying in a counter, so their trades aren't super great. Good though. Can't really take out the Harbin. They're gonna take out our reducer, which is fine, I think. They end up taking 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe? Maybe they're calculating if they have lethal for me, which most likely they won't, unless they have a couple hopeless nightmare shenanigans. Even then, I'd just play this instead of activating my recruitment officer. But now we'll just activate recruitment. Grab the reducer again. And the 5. I can't really afford to attack, I guess. This is legendary, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to really play it. Costs 5 mana? Yeah. Not really going to be able to buff our team. Reward doesn't really matter because of nowhere to run. They level that up with nothing in the graveyard? Okay, they just concede. I feel like... I mean, this is game 1 for me today, and actually a couple of days, because boy got real sick last night. But it was game 1. I felt like I played it very inefficiently in the beginning. I was like playing it so bad. I was like, I'm almost just ready to concede, like stop recording and then restart. But we end up coming away with it. I don't know how, but sure, I guess. Going first, no creatures really at 1 drop here, but that's fine. We do have a knight, so hopefully that's fine. We'll play this. We'll show this because that's what we plan on playing. Okay, Rakdos aggro. Play here because then this will allow us to play our Lord and Shelter by Ghost. Hopefully we're fine. Obviously no blocks here. Okay. All right. Player Lord, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Like to attack? I guess not. So Vanguard. If I could play this and have this go, I would. Let's protect the veteran actually, because the veteran's making our bodyguard pretty good. And they're also missing land, so the ward's never going to be able to be paid. We got greedy 1-lander burn, but even in 3 colors you kept a 1-lander? That's crazy work, dude. That's insane. I don't know if I agree with that one, Chief. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Yeah, that works. Here and here, and then here. And then maybe we'll find some... Find 2 creatures, which is fine with me. We have a 5/4 ready to go. I mean, we have a crazy board as is. A lot of ward going across. Now our soldier requirement's not there. And our aggro opponent gave up. Nice. Cool. I couldn't imagine playing... Honestly, they're probably just bored. No. They just played that. That has black mana. How are we a 3-color deck and we kept a 1-lander? I don't know, dude. No, no Golgari playing Maelstrom Pulse, please. Be really funny. Haywire Might. Okay. Loading up. Pass. Our 2-1's just getting brick walled every game. I don't get it. Oh, whips. And that has first strike? I'm getting fully stonewalled here. Wait. I'm getting fully slammed here. We're gonna get hit with a shelter. Probably lose this game. I mean, this helps, obviously, but... Another 2/2 first striking horse. How do I beat it? Honestly, do I just play the Lord? And I can attack... No. I mean, I can attack with this, but they can always double strike. It only gives... Actually gives us +1/+1. This also makes it large. No, it doesn't, actually. And this only puts it on another target creature I'm attacking with. I just wait, and I try to win the game by playing this, right? Whenever 5 or more soldier creatures you control get a 1/1 in the game flying. It's crazy that you have to attack with 5 or more soldiers, but all creatures get the, like, ability. It's so awkward. You can tap out. Okay. 4/4 first striking lifelink is really good. We just hope they don't attack. Need them to actually... Oh, they don't attack. We get so lucky. Right? Soldier, soldier, soldier. I'm not messing that up. Combat. Attack. Here, I guess. And we get to swing in for lethal. They had to attack with both to survive. That's actually wild. But they would have dealt 8 damage to us, and then they would have way better chances. But thankfully they didn't attack, and we get away with the crime there, I think. But yeah, very cool. We win. Kind of on an ideal hand here, so we definitely keep. We got officer into our good old creature here, and then we can play Copper Coat on the following turn. You don't mean that. Actually, soldier. I'm gonna go to combat first. They seem like the type to maybe hit this. They don't. I can play this, which is most likely gonna get his spell. I'm gonna let this get hit, I suppose. If it lives, I get to play this and this. If I draw a land, I get to play this and this anyway. Right? So it's kind of a wish-washy board anyway. I'm gonna play this first then. This thing on the land is not great. Really gonna be whether they put a threat in and start bullying me with that said threat like that. That's pretty good. Not holding it as a blocker. Interesting. Oh, we find a land. Nice. We're in. We're racing, that's for sure. We really hope to find other type of creatures. Like a Knight Errant here would be incredible. Because the problem is these Screaming Nemesis. No. Down to 11. They do play burn spells. And there's a Heartfire hero. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for sure. Now we're just wait. Although we don't meet the... Actually, we do meet the soldier requirement. But it's like, what's the odds with their hand that we're not just dead here, right? Okay. They checked. 6, 7. So we survive a lightning strike? Is it a Witchstalker Frenzy, maybe? I don't know. I don't think we can win this game. Yeah. Surprised they didn't Witchstalker their own creature. Might still be in the bag. If they have it, they have it. I'm not. We don't win this game by doing it the other way, right? Yeah, we lose this game regardless. Okay. That's fine, I think. They just weirdly got to play the removal spells early and missing. If we hit that third land the turn we needed it, I think we crushed this match. But missing it a turn late was a bit tough, so it's okay. Opponents first, we keep this. Aggro, okay. Well. play this, and then we probably look to Shelter by Ghost it. Because Scamp typically means they're like kind of a more fling style deck. Sure. Pass. Maybe you're playing Protection here. If that's the case, we're not gonna play scared of it. We're just gonna flush out our board. We're gonna play this, and we're gonna cast this Frontliner for free. Now we're in, kind of. Using that third land drop once again. It's a little tough, but it just is what it is. Three mana from our opponent. What's the plan, boss? Left up 1 mana, and I believe it has to be for protection, like a Snakeskin Veil or something. So our Shelter by Ghost isn't really going to be active. We hope they play a Screaming Nemesis here. They just fully pass with 3 mana open. Okay. We do hit what we want. I'll show this. I'll play this. We could go for the Shelter by Ghost here, especially now that this creature has Ward. But I think just waiting and going for reinforcements into Harbin is a better plan. We're in Stare at Each Other Simulator, I think. We'll be attacking with 6 soldiers, which these 2 will get buffed from the Copper Coat, idealistically. They drew a card. They're debating on attacks now, I think. We can stare at each other. It's fine. Sure. Then we can play Harbin, because it'll also have Ward thanks to the Coppercoat Vanguard. Oh, sweet. I'm gonna Shelter by Ghost this, and then we're really just holding that to bait out the Harbin later. Which one? Oh, okay. Well, like, definitely, it's Ward 3, by the way. It's a sneaky amount of Ward. Harbin's there. We go to combat. We attack. That's gotta be 5 soldiers, right? We can bait this because, again, it's Ward 3. It's a deceiving amount of Ward. And it's a lot to hit with. Pull 1. I'm not upset. You're upset. Obviously, Harbin's blocking. We're at 26. We will force them to do 28, essentially. Like, there's 0 chance we ever don't block here, right? With 3 mana, I don't think 26 is possible without having being, like, a Heartfire hero. Because Heartfire hero grows itself. Giant growth. I don't know if I believe in that. Sure. 7. Be the Copper Coat, but it's going to be face, of course. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. I don't think there's a world in which this game matters anymore. Yeah. Nice. Giant growth is crazy. When we have Monstrous Rage and Turn Inside Out, I feel like giant growth just doesn't matter. But, I mean, I guess if you're just playing them all because you're trying to fling the thing, if that's your whole plan. But they're in I don't know, man. I really don't. Okay, so here we are. Here's the outro. Outside of missing land drops pretty consistently on 20, but I swear 20's fine. It just felt like a really weird number today. You can play 24 and you'll still only have 2 whenever your hand's slow to the ground like that, but it's fine. How did I feel about this over the Jeskai? It's like weird because I feel like the Jeskai had a bit more explosive power and like really strong early starts. Where this one kind of felt like we were waiting to always play this guy, which feels awkward at the same time as like it does be progressive. Like obviously the mana feels a ton better here because we're mainly mono white outside of just playing the Harbin, and we don't really play any lands that kind of conflict with that overall. But overall, I don't know if it's necessarily the way to go. over the Jeskai. It's weird. It's really weird. But I can see how this one has way better starts, and like the Vanguard is good, and I talked about that when I played Jeskai. But it felt like kind of weak here. And I think the main issue we have, whereas like I played the Heartfire Hero and stuff and had things targeted, is the one toughness on a lot of our creatures is actually backbreaking more than anything. Where all this is just able to be blocked by pretty much anything at all. And it just makes it kind of hard to get through. But we are very aggressive and very quick. But I do think some of the games we played, we probably should have lost. At least it feels like we should have. There was like a one game at the very, well, I guess it wasn't the beginning. It would be the second game. Like our opponent just conceded. But then the very first game, you could see how much pressure we were putting on, and our opponent couldn't keep up. So it's like really weird. It feels like our one drop when we're playing this version is lacking in comparison to what it could be. Like how a Heartfire Hero into a Manifold Mouse just felt really strong, and our opponent is really prioritized on removing those. Whereas like these didn't matter. Like I almost feel like Warden is actually worse than Heartfire Hero in our soldier deck, which is kind of crazy to say. But maybe we just go back to Jeskai, but maybe play a couple actual spells at target. Maybe I don't know. It's weird. It is really weird. With that said, I hope y'all enjoyed regardless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.